There's a moment in everyone's life when you want someone so badly, it almost scares you. Not because you're obsessed, not because you're desperate, but because something in them wakes up something in you and you don't want to lose that feeling. And that's usually the exact moment you start doing the very thing that ruins the connection. You start chasing, you start overthinking, you start trying to impress. You start trying too hard. You start managing the situation instead of managing yourself. And before you realize it, you've handed over your power, not because you're weak, but because you slipped into a mindset that kills attraction faster than rejection ever could. Today, I'm going to teach you something different, something deeper, something most people will never understand about attraction, love, or human behavior. Because the truth is simple. If you want something, you don't chase. You calibrate, you align, you position yourself so strongly that they start moving towards you. Now, this entire video is just one point I'm going to share with you. One idea is so powerful when you understand it. Every dynamic with men, women, relationships, dating, and attraction shifts instantly. So let's begin. So the one point is this: stop trying to win them. Become the kind of person who doesn't need to win anyone. Now, I want you to hear this again. I said, stop trying to win them. Become the kind of person who doesn't need to win anyone. This is the core, the foundation, the source of every result you want in dating and relationships, because chasing happens the moment you believe someone is a prize you should earn. Chasing happens the moment you believe your value must be proven. Chasing happens when you subconsciously declare yourself the inferior party in the dynamic. And here's where people get it wrong. Not chasing isn't about ignoring them. It's about, it's not about playing games. It's not about pretending you don't care. What I'm teaching you today is not treat them mean, keep them keen. That's childish. This is about self-governing your energy in a way that silently communicates. I am a standard. I am a direction. I am a force. You don't chase forces. You move with them, or you get left behind. This is how people who are truly magnetic operate. They don't chase because their value is self-evident. And if your value isn't self-evident yet, that's what I'm about to help you fix. The truth most people never hear. When you want someone, your first instinct is to put more effort in. More calls, more texts, more softness, more proving, more availability. But the moment you do that, something in the dynamic shifts. Your desire becomes self-sacrifice. And people are not attracted to sacrifice. People are attracted to self-possession, to certainty, to someone who is grounded in who they are, not trying to mold themselves into what someone else might like. So instead of chasing, here's the shift. You work on becoming the person whose presence naturally pulls people closer, not the person who pushes harder. Now, let me break it down so you will never forget it. This is the frame shift. Stop putting them at the center. Put yourself at the center. When you want someone deeply, your subconscious does something dangerous. It centers them. You shape your availability around them. You shape your confidence around their responses. You shape your mood around whether they are showing interest back. This is psychological self-abandonment. This is where chasing is born. This is where anxious energy takes over. And here's the hard truth. People feel when you've dethroned yourself. They might not say it. They might not even consciously know it. But the energy shifts. What was once mutual becomes uneven. What was once playful becomes heavy. What was once attractive becomes uncertain. You don't need to chase someone who is drawn to your strength. You only chase when you step out of your strength. So instead of centering them, you center yourself, not in arrogance, not in pride, but in identity. You build equity in you. You position yourself as someone whose energy is rare, not because you're better than anyone, but because you know yourself deeper than most people do. And that changes the entire way people engage with you. Now, what's the psychology behind not chasing? Most people talk about attraction like it's magic, but it's psychology. Predictable psychology. Here is how humans operate at a core level. We move toward what feels grounded. We invest in what feels valuable. We are curious about what feels genuine and self-led. And we pull away from what feels needy or overeager. This doesn't mean you shouldn't show interest. Interest is fine. Honest expression is powerful. Openness is mature. Chasing, however, feels like fear. It feels like if I don't push this forward, it won't happen. It feels like insecurity disguised as effort. And people do not respond to fear with desire. They respond with caution, distance, and control. So instead of chasing, you do something far more powerful. You become the most self-aligned version of yourself. Let me give you the clearest version of this one point. The strongest pull you can create is alignment, not pursuit. Because alignment is quiet confidence. Alignment is self-trust. Alignment is, I know who I am, what I want and what I bring. I am not panicking about being chosen. I choose myself first. Alignment is when your energy says, I am here. I am open, but I am not abandoning myself to prove my worth. This is the energy people chase. This is the energy people respect. This is the energy people feel, even through a text message. Someone who is aligned is not emotionally chaotic. They are not begging for permission to be wanted. They are not over-explaining, over-texting, or over-showing. They show up with clarity. They show up with boundaries. They show up with presence that communicates. If you are here, amazing. If you're not, I am still whole. Nothing, and I mean nothing, is more attractive. So what do you do instead of chasing? You only do one thing. You create gravity instead of movement. Chasing is movement. It's effort, reaching, pursuing, pushing outward. Gravity, on the other hand, is different. Gravity pulls without force, without noise, without chasing. It's natural, it's effortless, it's undeniable. You become someone who pulls, not someone who pushes. Now let me show you exactly how to do that. So the first thing is, you slow down your energy. People feel speed. Fast energy feels unstable. When you're chasing, you rush. You are too available. You are too eager. You are too present. You're too fast in your responses. You're too fast in your expectations. Slow energy is confident energy. It says, I don't need to rush anything. I am not afraid of losing you. I am not afraid of the outcome. I am here, but I am calm. People respect calm. People trust calm. People are drawn to calm. When you slow down your energy, you change the tone of the connection. You stop performing. That's the second thing. You stop performing and start being present. Chasing is performance-based. It is what can I say to impress them. It's how do I make them choose me. It's how do I keep their attention. This is exhausting and it feels fake. People sense performance even if you think you're hiding it all. Presence is different. Presence is powerful because it's real. It's grounded. It's quiet confidence. Presence says, I am not trying to win you. I am letting you experience who I already am. Presence is magnetic. So thirdly, you communicate from a place of choice, not fear. Everything you say, every text, every call, every response has an origin. Either it comes from fear or from choice. Fear says, I hope they don't leave. I hope they don't mess this up. Or I hope I don't mess this up. I hope they still like me. But choices, I like you, but I won't abandon myself to keep you. I am interested, but I am not dependent. I am here, but I am whole with or without you. When you communicate from choice, your tone changes, your timing changes, your emotional presence changes, and they feel it immediately. So the fourth thing is you set a standard simply by how you live. You don't need to announce your standards. You are your standards. Your lifestyle reflects them. Your discipline reflects them. Your boundaries reflects them. Your self-respect reflects them. People don't chase standards they don't respect. They chase standards that challenge them to rise. When your life communicates, I value myself, people value you more. When your life communicates, I don't tolerate inconsistency, people stop playing inconsistent games with you. When your life communicates, I am serious about my peace, people approach you with better energy. This is how you create gravity. This is how you create gravity. So the fifth one is you allow them to participate instead of trying to carry the connection alone. Chasing is when you carry everything. The texting, the planning, the calling, the emotional labor, the follow-ups, the effort. You can't build a connection by yourself. You can only build it with someone. So you stop carrying the whole thing. You make space for them to show effort. You let them meet you halfway. You allow reciprocity. If you step in, if they step in, great. If they step back, that's data, not heartbreak. This is how healthy attraction works. You give them space to meet you halfway. The sixth one, you don't fear losing someone who is not choosing you. This is the deepest part of the entire story. The person who isn't choosing you is not your loss. They are your filter. If you have to chase someone to get their attention, you will eventually have to chase them to keep their attention as well. If they are not meeting you halfway now, they won't magically start meeting you halfway later. The moment you stop fearing loss, you stop acting from scarcity. And when you stop acting from scarcity, you stop chasing. You stand still in your words. You stand still in your identity. You stand still in your boundaries. People are far more afraid of losing someone who is grounded than someone who is frantic. Number 7, you become the kind of person people notice even in silence. This is the real secret. This is what separates average relationships from powerful ones. You become someone whose silence is loud. Not silent treatment, not manipulation, not punishment, but silence that communicates. I am not forcing this. I am not chasing this. I am not begging for attention. I am giving space for clarity. Silence becomes confidence. Silence becomes strength. Silence becomes self-control. People feel that. People respect that. People come toward that. Because in a world full of noise, the person who can stay calm in silence holds the power. Now, when you stop chasing, you give them the freedom to come towards you. This is the essence of everything. When you chase someone, they don't have room to move. Your energy crowds them. Your effort overwhelms them. Your need takes the oxygen out of the dynamic. When you stop chasing, truly stop, you create space. And in that space, something incredible happens. They begin to feel you. They begin to think about you. They begin to wonder about you. They begin to notice your absence. They begin to evaluate their feelings. They begin to take steps towards you. When you stop chasing, you don't lose people. You lose the people who were never meant for you. And you attract the ones who are. This is power. This is alignment. This is emotional intelligence in its purest form. So if you want someone, if you truly want them, the answer is not in chasing. It is not improving yourself. It is not in shrinking yourself to fit what you think they want. It is in becoming the version of yourself who does not need to win anybody. Because when you no longer need to win someone, they feel safe to move towards you. They feel free to choose you. They feel pulled, not pressured. This one point, this one shift can transform your entire dating life, your relationships, and the way people treat you. And if you do this right, you will never have to chase anyone again because the right people will gravitate towards you naturally. And the wrong ones will remove themselves, which is the biggest blessing of all. Thanks for watching and see you next time.